Dude! I'm Billiam, and we are the Digi-Dudes! This week we have a super awesome episode for you guys because we have found the greatest card game ever made, and we want to introduce it to you guys. Clash of Fates, our very own card game that Digi-Dude and I created together. So we are super excited about this, right, Digi-Dude?
Yes!
This is something that we've been working on for a very long time now. We're very passionate about. So let's run an intro and get right into this amazing card game. Like we said, we're launching our very own card game. We are so excited about this. This has been a passion project of ours for a very long time. Digi-Dude and I have been working on this absolutely together, right, Digi-Dude?
Yes.
This is a game that we designed 100% together, and same thing with the cards themselves. This is something that we wanted to show you guys and bring to you guys a card game that we really love and relate to because we are massive, massive card game fans, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
I've just been getting into Yu-Gi-Oh!
You have, actually. So as of right now, we already have the Kickstarter live, and you guys are going to be able to pick up all the cards we talk about in this video right now if you go and check out our Kickstarter. And we'll talk about at the end of the video the Kickstarter exclusive card that you guys will be able to get if you go to the Kickstarter that we're not going to have anywhere else. It's going to be only available on the Kickstarter, making it what, Digi-Dude? The rarest card in the game! This is going to be a special hologram. We'll get into that in a sec, guys. Let's talk about what is the card game itself. So Clash of Fates, we're going to be launching with 2 starter decks. We're going to have the
Digi-Dude, the Dark Sorcerer!
And Billiam, the Bear King deck. These decks are both specifically tailored by us for our specific play styles and what we like.
I like graveyard play.
So we're going to start out with the most important part of the deck, which is going to be your warrior. So the warrior is what everything is based around. A deck consists of 1 warrior and 40 cards in your inventory, as we call it. So we don't call it a deck in the game. In-game, it's your inventory.
Because we like video games.
Exactly. Because Clash of Fates is based off of like an action RPG type of game style. And you'll see that as we go through, because that's what we like. We like fantasy games. We like playing RPGs. So we kind of included that into our card game itself. Now your warrior is what everything's going to be based around, and let's break down what is on a warrior card. You have the character's name. So in this example we have Digi-Dude, the Dark Sorcerer. Right below that you have your warrior's class. Now their class is going to specify what type of cards they can also use, because certain cards are going to have class restrictions on them by having that class written on that card, meaning you have to be that class in order to play that card. And every class will have its own specific play style. So for example, right here on the Digi-Dude card, Digi-Dude is a
sorcerer!
Now what is sorcerer class based around, Digi-Dude?
Sorcerer class is based around graveyard play and being able to bring back cards and reuse them.
Exactly. So Digi-Dude is a big fan of decks that do a lot of graveyard play and graveyard manipulating and manipulating the field that way.
I like it when you're able just to like discard like a lot of cards and then be able to just like use them all.
Use them from the graveyard and bring them back from the graveyard.
Yeah.
So that's what the sorcerer class is based around, is graveyard play. And then we move down to the next part of the card here, which is their signature ability. Every warrior has its own signature ability that is specific to that card. It will be based and themed around whatever class they are, but there will never be a duplicate of that ability on another warrior. So even if later down the line, there's another version of the Digi-Dude card printed, it still won't have this specific ability. This one will be specific to the Digi-Dude Dark Sorcerer card that you get in the starter deck. Then we move over to the attack of your warrior and the defense of your warrior. Everyone will have their base attack and base defense printed on the card. And those are all the major facts and things you'll need on the warrior card. Now we're going to be moving over to what the inventory consists of, which are 2 types of cards. Which ones, Digi-Dude?
Skill cards and armament cards.
Yes. So, a skill card really doesn't have much going on the card, but they're very important. So, what we can see here is the card's name and then their ability. Skill cards are going to be like your one-time use cards, and we'll get to how to use them in a minute.
And I like using them for graveyard play.
Digi-Dude's a big fan of skill cards. In the Digi-Dude deck, it is more skill card heavy than it is armament card heavy.
I'm a glass cannon.
And then the next card we're going to talk about is our armament cards. Armament cards are going to be permanent effects that get equipped to your warrior. Now, let's look at the armament card itself and break it down. So there's the name. Some armament cards will have abilities, some will not. And then it also will have an attack buff or a defense buff, or sometimes both. Now, these will increase the amount of strength or defense that your warrior will have when it comes down to combat. Now, let's go through how the game actually works now that we established all of the different card types. For right now, there's only the 3 card types in the game. Your warrior, your armament, and your skills. Throughout later in the game, there might, in more expansions, if this does well for us, then, because we already have our first booster set planned and ready for us to start moving on, as long as the launch goes well with the 2 starter decks. How does the game actually work? What is the goal of the game, Digi-Dude?
To get your opponent's hearts down to 0.
Exactly. So, each player has 5 hearts you start the game with. And throughout combat, you can remove your opponent's hearts, bringing them down to 0, winning the game for you once your opponent hits 0. Now, let's look at how the field is laid out here. So, your warrior is smack dab in the middle, and then on the right and left of your warrior are your 2 armament slots. That's where your armament cards can go. And you can play both armament cards in the same turn if you want. Only play 1 armament card, no armament cards if you want. Or you could also remove an armament card that's already equipped and sending it to the graveyard to play a new one, or just remove it completely if you choose to. Now below that, you guys can see we have our skill slots here. There are 3 skill slots. Now, the way you guys play skills in this game is when we get to the skill phase, you play your skill face down in slot 1. You can always choose not to play a skill at any time in the game. You can choose to play a card in slot 1 face down. Both players play at the same time, and then both players reveal their skills at the same time, activating both skills at the same time, because everything in this game happens at the same time. Because this game doesn't work on turns, it works on phases. So let's go through each individual phase, starting at phase 1, your draw phase. You draw 5 cards. The beginning of the game, and every turn you draw up to 5 from there. So if you played out 3 cards that turn, that phase, that round, then you draw 3 cards, making your hand 5 again. Then it goes to the armament phase, which is then where you can play any of your armament cards, remove your armament cards, whatever way you want to do it. Then it goes to the skill phase. Like we said, both players always play their skills face down at the same time and reveal them at the same time. You go skill slot 1, you could choose to play a card in skill slot 1. After everyone resolves, then you move to skill slot 2. Again, choose to or not. It's up to you as the player. It's part of the strategy of this game is knowing when to use your skills. And then, once both players resolve, you move to skill slot 3. Continuing that, once both players resolve, then the skill phase is over. Next, you move on to phase 4, damage calculation. During this time is where you add up any debuffs or any buffs you might have to your warrior. For example, if you have Warmonger equipped to your warrior, you would then add Warmonger's attack to your attack, and then Warmonger's defense to your defense, increasing your warrior's strength. Also, any debuffs or buffs your skill cards might give you, or any effects that your skill cards might give you, continue on during this phase also. So now you've added up your warrior's final attack and defense stats. Then it moves to phase 5. Combat phase now. Now, once we hit combat phase is when the fun happens, right, Digi-Dude?
Yes!
Because what do you do now?
We fight, Sonos!
We battle. So this is where your warriors go head-to-head against each other to try to score damage. Now, how you score damage in this game is by having your attack higher than your opponent's defense. Both players can score damage on each other in the same combat. So, for example, if my attack is a 15 and my defense is a 10, and Digi-Dude's attack is a 15 and his defense is a 10, then we could both score on each other, removing 1 heart from both players. If, for example, Digi-Dude's defense was a 15, then I would not be strong enough to deal damage to Digi-Dude. And then Digi-Dude would deal damage to me, and he would take no damage during this combat. And then once the combat is over, it returns back to the draw phase and starts all over this way, continuing on until there's 1 player left with all the hearts and another player with no hearts. Right, Digi-Dude?
Yeah! Also, I really want to get into lore!
That's another amazing thing about this card game. We've come up with backstories and lore for every single warrior in this game. Speaking of the rich backstories and lore that this game has, what is Clash of Fates, Digi-Dude?
Clash of Fates is where all the fates / gods / you, the player, are all choosing their own warrior to represent them to fight each other to see who is the strongest, because, well, they're gods. If they actually fought, the entire, universe would probably just be destroyed.
Exactly. So the Fates are the gods of this world, this universe we've created. The Fates are actually you, the player, and because you can't duke it out directly, they choose a warrior to represent them, and they use their influence to guide that warrior through their life to encounter the other warrior they want to battle, manipulating their fate. For example, Billiam the Bear King is a powerful and tyrant of a ruler who believes that strength equals everything, and that his kingdom is a war-torn country on the border of the Demon Kingdom. So it is a place that's in constant combat, constant turmoil, and is battle-hardened people, where Billiam the Bear King is the strongest of the strong, where he is their mightiest champion and became their ruler because of his strength. While on the other hand, we have Digi-Dude, the Dark Sorcerer.
So Digi-Dude, the Dark Sorcerer, is one of the highest generals in the Demon King army, and uses his magic and manipulates his surroundings to get his way, and will also use dead bodies as puppets to control and use.
He is a necromancer.
He is a necromancer. He'll use his magic, and then just zombies will pop out of the ground and start fighting for him. And he will also use energy blasts, and he's a necromancer. He does that kind of stuff.
A lot of this lore will be reflected within the cards themselves, especially skill cards. You'll be able to see their different stories unfold, and we'll be posting lore on their official Clash of Fates Instagram also. But on top of that, Digi-Dudes is doing...
I'm making a comic that will explain all the lore!
Digi-Dudes is doing a Clash of Fates comic, which we'll be posting online for everybody to see, explaining more of the lore and backstories of each warrior, especially as we start to introduce new warriors later on in the game with different expansions. Now, we've already mentioned it once before, but if you guys want to get your hands on this card game, it's on our Kickstarter, Clash of Fates Kickstarter. The link is down in the description there, guys. This is going to be your first way to get it. Hopefully the Kickstarter is successful, because if it is, then we'll be having more starter decks back in stock again and working on expansions. But it all comes down to this Kickstarter launch if we can get this going. So if you guys are interested at all, please go check out the Kickstarter. Link is down in the description there. That is where you're going to find all the information and backstory on the cards. Also, how to get them, and which decks are which, and what they can do also on top of what we have said. Now, I mentioned that we have an Instagram also for Clash of Fates TCG. You can go check that out. We're going to be doing card reveals there and backstory, concept arts. We'll be dropping all that stuff there too. And we did mention that there is a Kickstarter exclusive card. We are going to be doing Digi-Dudes, Gorothor's Hero, which is going to be our very first ever promo card. The promo card is going to have its own special holographic on it.
And the rarest card ever in the card game.
It will be the rarest card ever made, because it is going to be a Kickstarter exclusive. Once the Kickstarter is over, then the card will never be made again, and that is it. Digi-Dudes card is also like crazy overpowered, because it is our first ever promo card.
It allows you to have 4 armaments on! 4! That is overpowered!
With this card, we are introducing another class, that has its own specific abilities to that class, the Knight class. Whoops.
And the Jujutsu Kaisen guy is now gonna kick Black War Greymon in the back even more.
Gosh. So, if you guys want to be able to get this super rare and exclusive card, you're going to have to go to the Kickstarter. It's going to be the only way to get this card. Like I said, it's going to have a special holographic to it that no other cards will have except for promo cards. And this one is OP because it's going to be our very first promo card. We wanted to make it special. And we also wanted to give Digi-Dudes something really cool, too, that he could have. Because we have our own starter decks, so he has the very first promo card ever, and that's exciting too for us.
Yes.
Because, again, this is something we're very passionate about. This is something we've worked very hard on, and we hope you guys really like it. We hope you guys love this game. We hope you guys pick it up, and that you try it out. Maybe if you just get my deck, and then your friend gets Digi-Dudes' deck, or if you get both decks.
By the way, if you get my deck, you'll dominate every single person.
Because both decks are going to come with 5 exclusive holo rares in those decks that are only going to be able to obtain from those decks. So between the 2 decks, there will be 10 exclusive holo rares in these decks. And then on top of that, if you guys go to the Kickstarter, you have an opportunity to get the Digi-Dudes promo card also. So we are so excited about this. We're so happy. Like we said, the Kickstarter is live right now. We're hoping by the fall, we're going to have cards in people's hands with a successful Kickstarter. Really excited about this, guys. If this Kickstarter is successful and the launch of the starter decks are successful, we already have our first booster set planned, introducing a whole bunch of new classes with different play styles for you guys to try out. Different characters.
And more gore!
And definitely in the first booster set, you're not going to be getting a Billiam card or a Digi-Dude card. We're probably not going to get another one of those made for a long time. So if you guys do want to get the Billiam card and the Digi-Dude card, you're going to want to get these starter decks. They're great places too. We wanted to make it as a great introduction to the game. So there's a lot of good cards in there that will soon, as you guys start to see them and start playing with these cards, you'll realize that they're going to be staple cards that a lot of decks are going to want to play.
And how I keep on having a card combo that can keep on board wiping.
Digi-Dude has an amazing combo in his deck that he absolutely loves abusing there. So once the cards are out, we're absolutely going to be doing gameplay videos with you guys. We already have some of our other YouTuber friends that are going to be picking them up also, and we're going to be doing gameplays with them and things like that. So we're really excited to show you guys that, and we'll be able to show you that combo over here Digi-Dude's talking about. Digi-Dude's combo's pretty nice and all, but honestly, the way the Billiam deck can deal damage is just insane. His combo is pretty. It's nice. It's fun. But hitting hard and with massive amounts of damage, taking out multiple hearts in one shot, is what the Billiam deck is all about. So, if you guys...
can have all your brute force, but I got strategy. I can board wipe you and make you weak compared to me.
We've talked a lot about the Digi-Dude deck, as you guys saw in there in the promo as well. Let's just talk about what classes the Billiam deck is. And I said classes because Billiam is going to be the first dual class card introduced in the game.
It's one of the first cards even introduced into the game, period.
It's true, absolutely. But it is the Berserker and the Ruler class. The Berserker class is going to be based around once your hearts drop under a certain level, you start getting increased buffs. If that's attack buffs, damage buffs, you're going to be doing either extra damage or getting extra attack once you start dropping below a certain amount of hearts. Because once you start taking that damage, you're in the heat of battle and you've just gone into a straight Berserker rage and you're attacking everything you can see. Now, the Ruler class, on the other hand, is all about using your authority as a king, an emperor, a ruler of some type there. And you're establishing your authority on the field by restricting what your opponents can do.
And that's why I love board wiping you.
So with the combination of the Berserker class and the Ruler class, the Billiam card becomes a very powerful card. And a really fun playstyle, in my opinion, because that's what I really enjoy. And now, he's getting all amped up over here. We'll have to play later to settle this. So, like we said, we're really excited about this. We've been working very hard about it. Please go check out the Kickstarter. Link is down in the description there. If you guys want to go check, at least just to look at what we have for the game, go check it out. If you're interested, we'd love it if you pledge to the Kickstarter.
Please buy it.
Please. Please. And as always, we have some shout outs to do. Our amazing Patreon supporters and YouTube supporters over here. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. With their help, we were able to bring you this card game. So thank them also. All right, dudes. As always, from me, my family, to you, have a digitastic day!